Once they made you feel tall, dramatic, alive bell-bottoms, with flares that swept the floor like attitudes stitched in fabric. You wore them boldly in decades where rebellion started at the ankles. But now you slip into them and the mirror tilts its head. Something's changed. The flare? It's too much. Too wide. Too heavy. It throws off your balance, adds weight where there's none, shortens the leg that deserves length, turns timeless presence into a dated echo. What was once confidence now feels like costume. But don't despair, because darling, style evolves and so do you. The modern wide leg pant is your new ally. Sleek, refined, and expertly tailored, it begins to flare, not from the hip but from the knee, creating a smooth line that flows like silk and elongates without shouting. No exaggerated drama, just effortless grace. A dark denim version with minimal details flatters every silhouette. It hugs gently at the waist, skims the hips, and opens at the calf just enough to bring movement without chaos. Pair it with a crisp white shirt, tuck it in, add a slim leather belt. For definition, not restriction, pointed flats or ankle boots complete the look. And suddenly, you're not chasing trends. You're setting the tone. This isn't about abandoning flair. It's about shaping it to your rhythm now. You can still make a statement, but let it come from the way you stand, from the way your trousers whisper, "I've arrived," without screaming where from. No more puddles of fabric dragging behind you. No more silhouettes that swallow your elegance. Your pants should celebrate your form, not conceal it. So if the flare feels off, if it pulls the eye down, if it feels like you're walking in someone else's memory, let it go. Trade it for strength, for clean lines, for a shape that honors the woman you are today. Because, darling, style isn't about what was, it's about how you carry what is. And the modern flare, it doesn't age you, it uplifts you. Step into it and rise. Oh, how we've fallen. For the glitter, the rhinestones, the oversized flowers blooming right on the pockets. Once it felt playful, charming, maybe even youthful. But now, it's noise. Too much embroidery, too many sparkles, too many eyes drawn to all the wrong places. These pants don't flatter, they perform, they distract. And worst of all, they age you by trying too hard not to. Because elegance doesn't beg for attention, it earns it, with silence, with subtlety, with intention. So what's the fix? It's not about dulling your shine, it's about choosing where to let it land. Trade rhinestones for refinement. Try tailored crepe that glides over the skin with the softness of a secret. Let your details whisper, a gold button, a pressed crease, a stitch just off center that says, "I thought about this." Want pattern? Go ahead. But choose wisely. Avoid those massive florals that shout from your thighs. Skip loud tribal swirls or neon zigzags that belong to another chapter. And instead, go for quiet geometry, neutral tones, soft vertical stripes, or small repeating prints that elongate, not overwhelm. Pair printed pants with a solid blouse. Tuck it in gently. Add a slim bracelet, a single pendant, and let your pants be part of the conversation, not the whole speech. For evenings, choose jacquard textures or satin in deep monochromes, navy, olive, burgundy. They shimmer, but never scream. They reflect light without demanding it. And remember, true charm lives in balance. If your pants sparkle, let your top sigh. If your print makes a statement, let your accessories rest. Because when everything shouts, nothing is heard. Darling, you've lived too much life to be hidden behind sequins. Let your confidence be the embellishment. Let your poise be the polish. Choose clothes that frame your essence, not bury it, and let the sparkle come from your eyes. They were once your favorite pair, Sleek, snug, so perfectly modern. You zipped them up and felt held. But lately, they hold a little too tight. They grip in all the wrong places. And suddenly, sitting feels like strategy. Crossing your legs, a negotiation. You tug at the waistband, readjust the knees, and wonder, was it always this hard to breathe? Skinny jeans, beloved as they were, can turn cruel. They highlight every curve, even the ones you'd rather whisper. They cling when you crave space. They constrict when you long for ease. And at this stage of life, comfort isn't a compromise, it's a right. Enter the quiet elegance of the straight leg pant. She doesn't shout, she glides. She follows your form without tightening it. From hip to hem, she draws a clean line that lengthens, lifts, and liberates. No more wiggling to fit in. No more fabric screaming at your thighs. Straight leg pants. Respect your body. They say, I see you, all of you. And you are enough. Try them in denim, soft crepe, or structured cotton. Tuck in a blouse to define your waist. Add a slim belt, not to cinch, but to complete. Pointed flats, elegant loafers, or ankle boots. Turn the look from simple to stunning. You'll feel it. That shift from restriction to release, from does this fit to this feels like me. Because, darling, your pants should never be a battle. They should be an invitation to move, to breathe, to belong fully in your skin. So thank your skinny jeans. They had their moment, but that moment has passed. Let them go with gratitude and step forward in softness, in strength, in style that meets you exactly where you are. You're not shrinking to fit anything anymore. You're expanding into ease, and trust me, elegance looks beautiful with room to exhale. There was a time pantyhose felt fresh, playful, easy, a little breeze for warm days and casual errands. But now, they cut you off mid-calf, mid-frame, mid-confidence. Instead of freedom, they bring imbalance. Instead of flow, they break your line. Because when pants end awkwardly, too long to be shorts, too short to be trousers, they confuse the eye. They create a block, a hard stop, right where the leg should stretch. And if the fabric is bulky, the cut too wide, or the drape too careless, darling, they drag your silhouette straight down. But don't despair. There's a better way to show a little ankle without losing your length. Meet her graceful sister, the cropped, straight-leg pant. Not the wide, flapping kind, not the stiff, boxy type. These ones skim the leg. They follow a gentle vertical line and end just above the ankle, right where grace lives. Paired with shoes that reveal the instep, pointed flats, low block heels, open back mules, they create a continuous line, a visual sigh of ease. Tuck in your blouse. Let your waist breathe. Add a slim belt if you wish, but let your clothes frame your form, not fight it. Layer with a cropped blazer or a light trench that ends at the same length as the pants. This is how you balance. This is how you elongate without even trying. Choose refined fabrics, soft cotton blends, polished crepe, or linen with lining, never unlined, my love. These pants say, I'm here, without shouting. They let your shoes speak. They give your movement space. They breathe, but never sag. And most importantly, they flatter, they lift, they dignify. So if your old pantyhose make you feel shorter, heavier, or unsure, it's time. Time to trade them for pieces that carry your elegance with intention. Because beauty isn't just in the garment, it's in the way it lets you walk without apology. Linen whispers of sun-kissed days, of ease, of elegance that moves with the breeze. But oh, when it betrays you, unlined, unstructured, unforgiving, it becomes less poetry, more problem. You slip them on and they cling. To your thighs, to your mood, they reveal more than they should. One sit, one stride, and they wrinkle like forgotten parchment, creased at the hips, crumpled at the knees, and suddenly, you look undone. Linen, in its purest form, needs support. It needs a partner, a soft lining, a loyal friend to hold its shape and guard your grace, because elegance is never see-through. It doesn't show the outline of your underwear or crease at every breath. What you need is lined linen, a layer of soft cotton, cool viscose, or delicate crepe, to hold the fabric and hold your presence, or choose blended linen, mixed with fibers that resist the rumple, that know how to drape, that move but don't collapse. These aren't fussy pieces. They're clever. They're polished. They stay composed from morning errands to afternoon meetings, from laughter at lunch to evening elegance. Pair them with a silk blouse, a structured tee, a flowing tunic that skims, not swallows. Add gold flats, a simple necklace, and a smile that knows you've figured it out. Because the right linen doesn't just breathe, it empowers. It holds you in softness without sloppiness. So if your linen pants wrinkle like crumpled tissue, if they expose instead of enhance, it's time to retire them, gently, lovingly. Not because you failed them, but because they no longer serve the woman you are. You deserve fabrics that rise with you, that bend but never break your image. And linen, when chosen wisely, can be your most graceful ally. There was a time low-rise pants felt daring, playful, effortless. They sat on your hips just barely, showing a flash of confidence or skin. But time passed, bodies shifted, priorities changed. And now, that same waistband feels like a warning. It digs, it slides, it invites. Constant adjustment. Raise your arms, and the tug begins. Sit down, and you brace for exposure. They don't flatter your figure anymore. They cut you off at the widest part. They flatten your torso, emphasize the belly, and undo the grace you've spent decades building. But don't worry, darling. The answer isn't to give up pants. It's to raise the bar. Literally, enter the high rise, or the sweet, ever-reliable mid-rise. They sit at your natural waist, where your body curves in, not where it spills out. They smooth, they lift, they support, without pressure. The waistline hugs you like a kind word, and suddenly you feel taller, straighter, more at ease in your skin. Pair them with a tucked blouse or a soft knit that grazes just below the waistband. Add a belt, not for necessity, but for polish. They go with everything: a crisp cotton shirt, a floaty silk tunic, a cropped blazer that hits just right. Choose fabrics that hold shape but move with you. Crepe, soft twill, blended linen. And here's a secret: a gentle front pleat can disguise the tummy while adding a vertical line of grace. These aren't just pants, they're permission to exhale, to move freely, to forget about pulling and readjusting. Every time you sit, you don't need pants that challenge you. You need ones that champion you. Because fashion isn't about youth, it's about respect. For the body you live in now, for the comfort you've earned, and for the elegance you still carry. Low-rise may have had its season, but darling, your silhouette deserves better. And when you find that perfect rise, the one that fits and flatters, you'll wonder why you waited so long to lift yourself back into ease. They were meant to be practical, handy, utilitarian, a little rugged, a little cool. Cargo pants, with their side pockets and stitched panels, once felt like freedom, but as time passes, the story shifts. What once looked casual now feels chaotic. Those oversized flaps, those bulging pockets, they add bulk in all the wrong places. They widen the hips, weigh down the thighs, interrupt the smooth lines of your silhouette. They're not flattering, they're loud, and not in a bold, intentional way, but in a distracted, disheveled kind of way. Because elegance, true elegance, doesn't shout, it whispers, it moves with clarity, and cargo pants don't always know how. But darling, that doesn't mean you must give up on comfort. Never. There is a better version, a refined cousin that keeps the function but sheds the fuss. Try tailored utility pants with clean lines, subtle seams, discreet pockets that flatter, not fight your frame. Opt for soft twill, stretch crepe, blended linen that skims the body without clinging. No extra bulk, no sagging fabric, no fabric balloons, where elegance should breathe. Pair them with a cotton voile blouse, a structured knit top, or even a silky tunic that flows with your stride. Finish with loafers, delicate sandals, or heeled mules that show a little ankle, a little intention. The trick is in the balance. Keep the pant sleek, let the fabric speak. Choose one detail that shines. A knife pleat, a brushed button, a gently tapered ankle, and always, always remember. Just because something is practical doesn't mean it must be bulky. You are not a storage closet. You are a sculpture. Cargo pants, in their traditional form, may have had their time. But your time is now. And you deserve clothing that holds space for who you are, elegant, evolved, and always beautifully put together. So let the pockets go. Let the clutter fall away. And dress instead for the woman you've become, clear, composed, and quietly extraordinary. Sometimes it's not the cut, not the color, not the trend, it's the tired thread, the faded wash, the pilled hem that tells the story. And not the one you meant to tell. You've worn them for years. They've known your morning coffees, your late night walks, the errands, the laughter, the tears. But now they're whispering something else. They sag, they fray, they've stopped holding you with grace. That stain you tried to scrub still lingers. The fabric has thinned at the knees, the zipper sticks, the pocket lining peeks out like a secret no one asked to see. And while you may think no one will notice, they do. Because condition speaks before style. It says, I've let go of the details, even if your heart still holds on. Darling, this isn't judgment, this is reminder, a gentle nudge that you deserve more, not more clothes, more care, more respect for the image you carry everywhere you go. It doesn't take much. A fabric shaver, a careful wash, a habit of hanging, not stuffing. It's in the little acts, trimming a loose thread, stitching a seam, letting go. When something's too worn to serve you anymore, yes, some pieces hold memories, but you don't need to wear the past to feel connected. You can thank them, fold them gently, and move forward. In something that supports who you are now, not just who you were then. Try trousers that hold their shape, denim with depth, crepe that skims, not clings, colors that look alive, not like they've been left in the sun too long. Because when your clothes feel polished, you do too. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. And that, my dear, is where elegance lives. So open your closet, look with loving eyes, and ask, does this still honor me? If not, let it go. Make space for pants that carry you with the same strength you've carried through life. Once, it felt like status. A name on a pocket, a logo on the chest, a monogram that made you feel seen. But somewhere along the line, it started speaking louder than you. Oversized logos, gold-plated initials, designer belts that shout across the room, not with grace, but with need. Darling, you don't need a label to tell the world you matter. You already do. True elegance doesn't wear a name tag. It walks in, quietly confident, understated, unbothered by approval. Because the woman you are doesn't need to prove she has taste. She is the taste. Logos aren't wrong, but when they take the spotlight, they pull attention away from the real story. You. That blouse with a bold emblem at the collar. It distracts from the way your eyes light up when you laugh. That handbag with screaming branding. It competes with the quiet strength you carry so naturally. And worst of all, trendy logos fade fast. What felt in last season feels forced the next. Instead, choose pieces that whisper quality. Soft leather that ages like you, gracefully, clean stitching, rich textures, beautiful lines that don't need to shout to be noticed. Let your silhouette do the speaking. Let your presence do the branding. When you wear timeless design, people see your style, not just your shopping list. So next time you reach for something loud, ask, is it enhancing my essence or hiding it? Do they see me or just the label? Because the most powerful thing you can wear is not a brand, it's self-assurance. When your outfit doesn't say too much, you get to say more. And in the end, elegance is not about who made your clothes. It's about who you became while wearing them. Before a word leaves your lips, before your outfit has time to shine, your posture has already spoken. Slouched shoulders, a lowered chin, arms crossed like a shield. They don't just carry tension, they carry stories. You may not mean to tell. The world sees it. Before you do, they see if you're shrinking or standing in quiet power. They notice the slump, the hesitation, the closed-off curve where your strength should rise. And darling, it's not just about how they see you. It's about how you begin to feel. When you fold in, you fade. When you lift, you lead. Elegance isn't only fabric and color. It's how your body moves through space. Straight spine, open chest, eyes forward. This isn't stiffness, it's awareness. It's the language of presence. Here's the secret. Your body remembers. It echoes your thoughts. It mirrors your beliefs. And posture, more than any accessory, tells the truth of how you see yourself. Try this. When you walk into a room, imagine a thread lifting the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders back and down. Soften your hands. Let your feet root into the ground. Then breathe. Not shallow, but deep into your belly. Feel the difference. That's not just good posture. That's command. You don't need to be loud to take up space. You only need to be fully present. And if you sit much, be kind to your frame. Uncross, unclench. Stretch between moments. You deserve to feel uplifted, not compressed. This isn't about perfection. It's about intention. You've carried so much through the years. Now it's time to carry yourself with ease. Because when your body says, I am here, I am worthy, the world listens differently. Let your posture be the punctuation to every word you speak. Let it declare without shouting, I am still very much alive. So now we've walked through the shadows, the small missteps, the forgotten hems, the overlooked habits that whisper louder than words. We've peeled back the layers of what cheapens, not our worth, but our reflection of it. And in doing so, we've found clarity. Elegance, my darling, was never about rules, never about price tags or passing trends. It's not stitched into the seams of a blazer. It's not embossed on a label. It's not layered on your skin like powder. It's breathed. It's felt. It's chosen. Every morning when you decide to show up with care. Elegance begins in the quiet choices. A blouse that fits your now, not your then. A shoe polished with pride. A posture that says, I still believe I belong here. It lives in restraint, in soft makeup that enhances, not hides, in accessories that whisper, not scream. It lives in presence, in standing tall, even on days when the world feels too loud. And most of all, elegance lives where self-respect becomes routine. Where grooming isn't about impressing, it's about honoring the woman you've become. You don't need to chase youth. You need only to embrace this chapter with taste, with tenderness, with truth. So the next time you stand before the mirror, don't ask, "Do I look young?" Ask, "Do I look like someone who knows herself?" Because that, my love, is unforgettable. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If any of this spoke to your heart, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a gentle reminder that aging isn't fading, it's unfolding. Your elegance isn't behind you, it's right here, waiting to be claimed, one beautiful choice at a time. And I'll be here, cheering you on, every graceful step of the way.